weaker, Japanese yen stronger, Kiwi weaker, okay? Leading up to October 5th, right? So we're in October 11th. So you have to understand the context. So when this data came out, this is the moves that happened up until that date. So it's confirming what happened up until that date. So you have to look at the charts to see what that means in that context to decipher what's going to take place. So that's what this report's all about, is about taking that, putting into the correct context based on the supply and demand, and then interpreting what that means. So gold, we see that they added a small size to their longs and closed a large portion of their shorts. So far that's not really indicating anything to me, right? Because we're still in this range. On the weekly chart, that means, you know, it's going to take multiple weeks for things to play out, right? And look what it's been doing for months, just doing that. But there are key indications that are telling us that we're likely going to see a drop like this because of what's happening. As for oil, we were expecting this to head higher. Oops, and we had weekly targets which just recently got hit. Weekly uptrend was formed, which solidifies the move to the upside based on a weekly time frame. Then we have trends on lower time frames. And what do we see? Big increase in longs, 527 to 548, and decreasing shorts. Are we surprised? No, that's completely in line with our expectations. 78% long exposure right now. That's a lot. So US dollar US dollar, I should say. Closed a small amount of longs and reduced shorts from the 18,000 back down to 12. Okay. And we have demand here, weak upward trend. So we got to be cautious of that. Yes, there's a bullish a sentiment here by looking at the coloration of the cells, but very weak structure on the weekly chart. Okay, so we would need to have a better structure or to have this area of demand confirmed when price comes down that it's going to be used. Okay, because it's not your typical strong upward trend structure that they would create, you know, there's risks involved with that structure holding. Aussie, shorts longs are very cooled off, shorts are more aggressive, leads you to suspect that price over time is going to drop. We talked about how this is not a momentum shift, it's a dynamic shift, so that changes the thing, everything, okay? That changes things around. USCAD, what do we say? If the demand zone on the daily chart got removed, it opens up the floodgates for a move lower. It got removed. Targets are now down here. Okay. A move to the downside. Okay, US Swiss franc moved up from supply or demand to hit supply. Very strong, bullish pressure here. Very strong. So okay, Euro US dollar. We've been watching the daily demand zone that we wanted to see removed. So when you know what to look for, you know why you're looking for it. When you know why you're looking for it, you know the importance of those things taking place. So when you see that it was spiked down emotionally, you have to ask yourself, why? Why was it spiked down emotionally? Why didn't it just come out and take it out nicely? Because if it did, then we'd have supply here. And that's what we were watching for, but it didn't happen. So what does that tell you? It should tell you something. You know what it tells me? It tells me that there's a likelihood of price doing that. Would I want to blindly take a trade off of that? No. Why not? Well, because what I know to be true from my own analysis, not from what experts are telling me, not from what the news is telling me, not from anything, but based on fundamentals. Fundamentals. What is fundamentals going to tell you right now? That you should short the euro? I mean, all those fundamental traders, what are they getting out of what they should be doing? All those fundamental traders that are so sure that fundamental trading is so key, looking at the fundamentals of a currency is so key to making a trading decision. What are they being told right now? that they should go in short or they should go in long, right? So is fundamental trading really what you should be focusing on now? No. Because if fundamental trading was an important thing, and it very well could be, I'm not saying that it's not, but who do you think has a better grasp of the fundamentals, you or the banks that move the markets? And if the banks interpret the fundamentals in one way and you interpret it the other way, which way do you think is more important, your interpretation of it or their interpretation of it? All right. So you see how whether or not fundamentals is important or not, still the same conclusion you should come to is you have to focus on what the banks are doing. All right. So it's the same conclusion, whether or not fundamentals is important or not. The conclusion is the same. You have to look at the banks. What do we know about one candle dojis for supply? So the pound closed some longs and added to their shorts from 55K to 66. Shorts are more aggressive. There's no structures, there's no nothing on this chart. It'll just do what the euro does. We've talked about that before. US dollar, Japanese yen, they closed some of their longs, but overall longs are a lot more aggressive, right? We've known that. Longs are a lot more aggressive than shorts, okay? Shorts very cooled off. That's why we use these spreadsheets to give us an indication of what the banks are doing with their position since March 16. Since March 16, they flipped from focusing on longs to or focusing on shorts being the aggressive to focusing on longs being the aggressive. March 16, 2021. So what happened March 16, 2021? Where was price? March 16, 2021, right here. So at this point, they said, we're going to start focusing on longs, right here. We're going to start focusing on longs. And then what did they do? Remember I told you when price is ranging, they're either accumulating or distributing. So what was this phase? Accumulating. Okay. Longs, look, from 50,000 to 100,000. Double their positions. And from 64,000 short to 30,000. Half of their positions taken off shorts. So they doubled their longs and took half of their shorts off during this phase. And now the break to the upside. Okay. And then Kiwi banks closed some longs, added a small amount of shorts. So not much going on here. It's in the middle of the ocean, like I said. It hasn't contacted any major areas of supply or demand, so it's hard to tell what it's going to do. It's going to make little moves here and there until something substantial takes place.